Since you really listened to him and you were taught how to live, the truth is in Jesus. Change the former way of life that was part of the person you once were, corrupted by deceitful desires. This doesn't sound like rocket science, does it? If you really know Jesus, then you've heard Jesus' invitation to transformation. And if you've heard Jesus' transformation because you know Jesus, then change that part of your life that was corrupted by deceitful desires. Sure, the call to follow Jesus involves a changed life. But I wanted to point out something that I noticed as I was reading this passage over and over and over, because it's wordy. But one thing I noticed as I was reading it was, it's talking about that part of your life. That part of your life that was corrupted by deceitful desires. You see, sometimes when we're thinking about transformation, we think that the whole thing needs to be transformed. It's kind of like watching a butterfly. On first glance, it looks like the entire caterpillar has been transformed, until you begin to realize that everything that was part of that caterpillar was brought into the cocoon, and nothing else added. The totality of the butterfly is the caterpillar. It's just transformed, but not the whole of it, just much of it. When we think about our lives, especially transformed by the gospel, we have to recognize there are parts of our lives that are wonderful, beautiful, and good. There are people in our lives who are wonderful, beautiful, and good, and will help us, encourage us to live into the gospel. We have to recognize that there are parts of us, there are gifts and talents and desires and experiences that are good and will contribute to living out the gospel transformed by it. But we have to recognize that there are parts of it that are not. And you might be surprised by what parts those actually are. What are the parts of us that need transformed? And are we willing to let them be transformed? What are the parts that don't need transformed? And sometimes that's not for us to name. But what we're looking for are the parts of us that are good, beautiful, and reflecting of the gospel already. Those are the foundation upon which God is building and transforming. Amen.